Well, here we are at this moment in Self-Publishing Mastery Talks, where I'm really excited and happy and honored to introduce to you our very special guest today. Not only because we've known each other for 5 years now and we are friends and we work together, but because he's one of the top publishing experts. He's been helping like thousands of authors. He created one of my favorite writers' festivals in the world. He is Laurence O'Bryan. So thank you, Laurence, for being here with us today. The festival is the International Dublin Writers Festival. It started in 2015. That was the first edition. It had a different name back then, but it was awesome. I attended it and I fell in love with the festival and with Dublin, which is an amazing city. So welcome, Laurence.
Hi, it's great to see you and meet everybody, and it's really nice to see you. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak to everyone, and it's great to connect. Yes, I founded the International Dublin Writers Festival back in 2015, and the purpose of the festival is to help writers in all the various ways, like what Andrea is doing, providing information for marketing and publishing and making connections and providing a community. I got the inspiration for the event actually from the United States, where I attended a couple of conferences about 10 years ago, and there was nothing similar. So I attended some writers' conferences in the United States and saw what could be done and decided to bring that to Dublin. And we now typically get a lot of people coming from the United States, coming from all sorts of other countries, and it's a wonderful weekend we have. Go to our site, the International Dublin Writers Festival, and you'll see all the different speakers, including myself, people talking about marketing and writing and turning your book into a TV series. Got some really good stuff coming up. And what I'm really excited about is the opportunities that are coming for writers. So we see authors, some of our authors are making really good money online. And it's not just about making money. I know it's about telling stories and getting out what we want to say, putting it down, and the joy of creativity, of actually making something and every day writing something and then seeing your book online. It's just wonderful. And getting the comments about it, the reviews, getting those feedback on your book online. It's really wonderful. And of course, the money helps as well. So we know authors who are making really good money, and I'm talking $10,000 a month. To me, that's good money. Yeah. Always has been good money. And there are people making even more than that because of, and it doesn't come overnight. It's one of those, years of work and dedication and building up a list of books and making sure that they're presented really well. So it takes work to make good money online from books. But we are dedicated to helping. I know Andrea is too, dedicated to helping authors take those steps that they need to make good money and use the opportunities we have now in this semi-lockdown, whatever you're in yourself, to drive forward with our writing. There is an opportunity coming this decade, is a real opportunity for writers. The tables are turning. It used to be that we all used to have to stand and wait for the publishers, even the agents, we couldn't approach publishers directly. We always used to have to wait and write and send off by post our information to agents and wait months and months and months for them to get back to us. And then wait years for the publisher to publish us. Well, that's gone, thank goodness. And it's all changing this decade. So there is a huge opportunity. If you're writing something and you love writing and you get pleasure from writing, then please see this next decade as a huge opportunity. So I'm going to take a breath now and let Andrea come in if you have any questions.
Oh, wow. I have a ton of questions, but I want to tell our viewers that, because I think I missed that in the beginning. So if I didn't, well, it's a good reminder that you're a writer yourself. You write thrillers. You're a best-selling author. You were traditionally published. HarperCollins were your publisher. And I know the story, but maybe some of our viewers, they don't know it. I remember that your mastery of social media, your command, helped get that contract, not just a great manuscript, but that knowledge that you had helped you.
In 2009, I had a subscription to Writer's Digest, and I saw in 2009 they were saying a writer should have a Twitter account. So I got a Twitter account, and I'd been writing for nearly 10 years, and I produced a book, The Istanbul Puzzle, which you can see online. And I went to an event in London, which HarperCollins were having. And I spoke to an editor there. She said, send me your document. And I also told her about the Twitter account I had, which was then about 7,000 followers, which people thought was wonderful. And so traditional publishers do want to see that, yes, you have a book, but it also ticks an extra box. If you're doing your social media, if you have a YouTube channel or a good Twitter following or a good Instagram or whatever, that you're doing something and this will help them. So they like that. And I think it definitely helped having that. I also had a blog, which was good. So I had a blog and the Twitter account. And hopefully the book helped as well. That turned into a 3-book series with HarperCollins. They translated it into 10 languages, I think it was, or different publishers around the world. The Italian edition is wonderful. So that was really good. HarperCollins published me. And later on, I went to self-publish. I decided that it was better to self-publish, and I went to self-publishing. And self-publishing is really important now. You can make really good money from self-publishing. So that's the way I've gone since after the Istanbul Puzzle series.
You mentioned Twitter, and I know Twitter is one of the services you help with authors around the world. So obviously Twitter works. That's how we connected. So we connected through Twitter back in 2015. That's how I found out about the conference and decided to join.
It's not a magic wand, and we now have 14 Twitter accounts. And it doesn't immediately mean that you're going to start selling loads of books. And we have 740,000 plus followers on the different accounts. And the main thing that people want now is content. They want to see interesting content. So that could be blog posts about your book. It could be YouTube trailers about your book. It could be links to your Instagram account. But people really want to see content. The days of just putting up a tweet, buy my book, are really over. I know a lot of people still do it. But if you want to get followers, I recommend having a blog, having a YouTube channel, having some other content that you can send people to. And yes, you can make content. If you're writing fiction, you can make content about it. If you're writing fiction, for instance, about a Native American story, you could write about the background to the location. You could write about the background to the tribe or whatever. Any type of material to support your story. Put it up on a blog post, and then you link Twitter to your blog post. So this way of expanding your book beyond just the book itself, expanding it online. You could have videos, you could have on YouTube, you could have videos on your blog, you can have sound, you can have recordings, you can have giveaways on your blog, on your website. So you link all of those to Twitter, and people are much more inclined to go to click on that link in Twitter when they see something interesting. And you can imagine if someone's interested in a Native American story and they say, oh, here's a map of this particular area or some old story related to it, they click on it and then they see a link to your book in the blog, which is about that story, then they're more likely to buy your book because you've created something. So this is an idea of extending your book online. So you have your book, the contents of your book, and then you say, okay, I'm also going to put maps and pictures and videos and a blog post about the background and the characters, and I'm going to put them up. So this way you can extend your book, and this is how you can use Twitter, and you can do it in a way that makes it really interesting for readers. So we recommend Twitter linked with a blog, linked with YouTube, with Pinterest, if that's the type of thing that's suitable for your books. Some amazing pictures you can have on Pinterest. It's so beautiful.
You can learn more about how to use Twitter and other social media channels if you get Laurence's book, because he writes fiction, but he also wrote a book on how to use social media.
Go to BooksGoSocial and you can see our training courses. And I'm going to give you a secret now, which is our training courses are $99, but I'm going to give you a coupon code, okay, which means you can get any of the training courses for free on our go to BooksGoSocial. So this is for all of Andrea's wonderful people she's connected to. So the coupon code is Spring Freebie, SPRING FREEBIE, Spring Freebie, no capitals, no space between the two words. Use that on the pay button on the pay page, and you'll see a place for the coupon code, and you'll get any of those courses. There are 6 courses, over $600 worth of training, and that is free for anyone who is watching this. I hope you enjoy it. So you go to BooksGoSocial, you see the training course link at the top of the site, BooksGoSocial.com.
That's a surprise even for me. He didn't tell me about this, so thank you. That's amazing. If you take the course, then leave a review, because reviews always help.
So the main thing is that we try and help people, and that we're doing our best to help as many authors. You don't have to buy anything ever. We're doing our best to help authors and to build a community. If you've got comments, then yes, send them back to Andrea and support Andrea, the wonderful work that Andrea is doing in helping authors. So we want to build a community for everyone who's watching. You're part of this community. We want to build that community and make sure that you're getting everything you can from working with Andrea and BooksGoSocial.
Thank you. But because you're here with us today now, I want to pick your brain a little bit more. Since social media and Facebook ads and advertising ads are one of your top skills, and that's one of your top services at BooksGoSocial, what would be the ideal number of social media channels that an author should have, or the minimum? How many social media channels should they include in their platform?
Have one at least, and to have one that suits you and your book. So it could be Twitter. I like Twitter because it's a wonderful magazine. I check it, but I only spend 10 minutes on there every day, and I check some of the lists I have or journalists, and you see it as a magazine. And we also have a way of putting up those tweets regularly ourselves. So I have people who do that for us. So I see Twitter as a magazine, the latest up-to-date news, whatever your politics, whatever you're interested in, you'll find it there. Facebook is good for community. The groups in particular are not so fond of pages anymore. Groups we're really interested in. Pinterest, if you're very visual, if you're artistic and visual, or LinkedIn, if it's business oriented, yes, you have to go there. So at least one, try and find your way to use at least one service. The main thing that we're doing now to promote books is advertising. And we do Amazon advertising and Facebook advertising. These are paid advertising services, and we do them on our dashboard for any book. We can run ads. We've been doing them for years, and we've done thousands of ads for thousands of authors, and we know which ones work and which ones don't work. So you can see those also at BooksGoSocial.com, and there's some really interesting things you can do with Amazon ads. We've also got a YouTube channel, look for BooksGoSocial, and we've got some videos there which tell you what not to do on Amazon ads and what not to do on Facebook ads. So if you want to run the ads yourself, please watch those videos. Go to the BooksGoSocial, look for BooksGoSocial on YouTube, and you'll see some short 10-minute type videos explaining some of the things, if you want to run the ads yourself, some of the things not to do. So please consider those if you're thinking of doing your own ads. But a lot of people don't want to do the ads. They don't want to learn the algorithms, and they don't want to learn all the things like A/B testing, the different type of images and text and things that you're going to need. So people who want to hand it over, they can come to BooksGoSocial, and we do the ads for them. And many of the clients are really happy with the service provided. But I have to tell you, not all books sell. A lot depends on how the book is presented. So one book can do really well and the people love us. And another book, if it hasn't got reviews, good reviews, if other people aren't clearly seen to love it, if it hasn't got a wonderful cover, if the description isn't amazing, if it's not the type of book that you just want to buy immediately, those books, they struggle to sell. So really, talk to Andrea about improving how your book looks, presentation. We also do a quality control check on every book that comes, and we give people advice on their description and their cover and their pricing. You want to make sure your pricing is right. You want to make sure your cover is right. So all those things help when we advertise books, and the ones that are well presented, they sell well.
Yeah, I know you also help authors actually with the self-publishing process, from editing their book to creating a great cover and uploading the files. I know authors who are doing great with these Amazon ads, and I know authors who don't see much traction, don't get much traction from those ads. What would be the top three best practices?
Amazon ads, we have something called the relevancy score. Amazon use an algorithm to decide when to place your ad and where to place your ad. So it's really important that when you're doing your Amazon ads, that your book ranking, first of all, isn't too high. So if you start and your book ranking is 1 or 2 million and you rarely sell a copy, Amazon is not going to show your ad to many people, because Amazon wants to sell books, wants to promote books that are likely to sell. So if you can get your sales up as you're doing your Amazon ads, if you're doing email marketing or something else to get your ranking up. So that's one of the first things that'll impact your Amazon ad, is if the algorithm sees that your book is really low and it's only at 2 million or something, you need to get it up. And you need to find a way, use email marketing, that's drop the price, email marketing, get your book up, and then Amazon sees it's selling and it'll start showing your ads more. The second thing is reviews. If Amazon sees you've only got 2 reviews and they're not even great, it actually has a score for those and puts it into the algorithm, and it's less likely to show your book. If you've got 57 5-star reviews and lots of people really love it, Amazon is more likely to put your ad, to show your ad. So if books if you're not even getting impressions, these are the things that can impact it. You can also be in a highly competitive genre. So if you're selling a thriller, for instance, that's like a lot of other thrillers, there may be 100,000, literally 100,000 people advertising thrillers, trying to get into that category, running against David Baldacci or some of the other key authors. So it's going to take time for your ads to start working. You need to make sure your cover is right. You need to make sure your price is right. You've got some great reviews. Your description really grabs. So look at those things. The description, the first sentence, people should want to buy your book from the first sentence. So do your best to get all of those things right. And I know Andrea can help in those areas as well. So those are the things that will help your book to sell more. Some people's Amazon ads, they just start in the first week and they start selling, and it's just amazing. It's usually when we look at those ads, it's because they're in a specific genre that's not that competitive. There is some specific genres, there's not a lot of people advertising in that. So Amazon puts the ads up quickly, and if it's a good book, people will see it. They'll see it's got 25 nice reviews, it's got a nice cover, looks professional, and people start buying it. So it depends on the competition and the presentation of your book on Amazon.
I guess also it's about the duration of the campaign.
We don't stop it. It can take a couple of weeks. So we start a campaign. We don't have a stop point. Okay. We start a campaign. So we'd set a budget at perhaps $10 a day or $15 a day. Amazon will rarely use that. Normally it might only use $1 a day or even 50 cents. So we set a budget, $10 a day, and we leave the ad running. It could take a couple of weeks. Some ads will start in a week. Some ads, it takes 3 weeks for it even to start showing. If it's slow starting to show, we can raise the bid by 10 cents. So we usually start with a medium bid, which is 60 cents. We watch our ads every day. So if you're doing Amazon ads, make sure you watch them every day. We watch our ads every day. We start with a medium bid. If after 2 weeks it's not showing, we'll raise the bid by 10 cents. And hopefully then you start to get more impressions. We're looking for at least 1 click per 1,000 impressions. That's the ratio you're looking for, 1 click per 1,000 impressions. And then we're looking for 1 sale from 10 clicks. So if you're not getting 1 sale from 10 or perhaps 15 clicks, that means that there's something wrong with the way your book is presented. You've got 10 people going to your ad and they're not buying. There has to be a reason. Go back to the basics again. Look at your book online. If you're not getting impressions, raise your bids by 10 cents. But please watch your ads every day and set a daily limit on your spend. So if it starts running away with your money, you know immediately it spent $10. I didn't get any sales. You know you have to look at it and see what's happening. So don't come and say to us, "Oh, I did it and I left it for a month and it spent $300 because you raised your bids too high." Look at it every day. And this is why people want somebody else to do the ads for them, because you really have to. It's a responsibility. You know, when you put in a bid and a budget, a daily budget, it's a responsibility that you have to watch that.
You do great with Facebook ads. That's another avenue for becoming a best-selling author, I guess.
One thing to get right is please don't boost your posts from your page. Facebook, if you've got a Facebook page, Facebook will pop onto your screen every couple of days. Boost this post. Please don't. We have a video specifically about that. The problem is that when somebody clicks on one of those boosted posts, all it does is it explodes, it opens up the post on the page. But when somebody clicks on a post which you create with the advertising manager, when they click on the image, they go to Amazon. So every time you're extending the length of time to get to Amazon, you're losing people. You want people as quickly as possible to Amazon, so you get less sales, which is what we want, which you're going to pay for, less sales. You pay for the clicks. When they go to Amazon, you get less sales if you use the boosting system. So please don't boost, use your advertising manager. So to get to your advertising manager, you look for ads at the top on the right, on one of the menus on the right, drop-down menu in Facebook, and you'll see the advertising options in the advertising manager. It is more complicated than boosting posts.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other reasons we use the advertising manager. One is a system called A/B testing. Mm-hmm. So A/B testing is that we set up two images for the ads. So we have image A and image B, and Facebook will automatically determine which one gets the lowest cost per click and then start using that one more. This way we can A/B test images, then headlines, then text. So we find the lowest cost way for you to get people to your Amazon page. So this is really important. Cost can really make Facebook uncompetitive. You can spend a lot of money, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, and not get any sales. And when you look back, you think, oh, the cost of the click was too high. I could have doubled my clicks if I was managing it properly. Use your advertising manager. We've got in our YouTube channel, we've got a 10-minute video explaining all this process of A/B testing. If you want to do it yourself, there's a number of books online about this, on Amazon, about mastering Facebook advertising, but you really have to study it properly, Facebook advertising. We take it over and do Facebook advertising for people, and some people do really well. Some of our clients are really delighted with the service. They get lots of comments on the Facebook ads, and they get lots of likes, and then they get lots of sales, and they're really happy with the service. It takes a good book, so we start with the basics of a good book, well presented. All of those things have to be right, but we do the Facebook ads, and we do that A/B testing process until we get the cost of the clicks down and sales moving from your Amazon page. So that's the process. You can learn it yourself. Look for our YouTube channel, look for our videos, look for some books on the subject and learn it. It can take 6 months to get this right, but it can be done. You can learn how to do Facebook ads yourself. Just take it slowly.
Yeah, everything can be learned, but then it depends on your, on if you have the time, if you have the will to do it. So, but apparently nowadays, authors need to do this paid advertising. It's not like in the old days. Unless we do this, then the chances for our books to become bestsellers or to sell really well are kind of shrinking.
Big authors we see are all doing Facebook ads, Amazon ads. They're doing everything. and they're making really good money, and they've mastered these things, or they have somebody who works for them who's mastered these things. So the people who are making really good money, they're definitely doing advertising. The days of books taking off organically now, it's a rare event. It's like a lottery win. You know, you can find a book that sells, but the way Amazon has structured the algorithms is that if you put a book on Amazon, it isn't seen. And nobody sees it because there are so many books, possibly 10 million books. Amazon, if someone even searches for your subject area, searches for your type of book, your book could be on page 15. Nobody will get there. They'll look at the books, the first page, they'll look at the books, they'll never get to page 15. So at least a minimal level of Amazon advertising is recommended. So it's sponsored product ads, so your book appears, at least has a chance of being seen by people who go onto Amazon. So yes, advertising is critically important now. And we see it as a test that you should test what happens when I spend $200 on advertising. You know, will my book sell? So our programs at BooksGoSocial are a way of testing what happens when we spend $200. Will it start selling? How many books will I sell? Can I make a profit? Will I want to keep going with those ads? That's the process which authors should think about. And marketing was always about testing. So we test market things. We say, okay, let's spend $200 on this type of advertising, see what happens, see if we have to change the product, see what we have to do with our marketing. And that's the process of the professional marketing, is testing, test marketing, and then continuing if it's a success.
And this strategy applies to all genres. There's no genre that can do without.
All genres. We've seen some good success with children's books recently. Particularly, we have to get the targeting right for children's books. So getting the targeting right, and nonfiction, and people doing educational books, all genres, fiction, everything.
Another question I have, we've been talking a lot about Amazon, but I know authors, for example, Joanna Penn in the UK, and this is one of the people I follow. And then Dave Chesson, I know you had him at your conference last year. That was a great thing. So I know you're bringing more and more, the top experts. They are coming to your festival in Dublin, which is great. But I know, for example, Joanna Penn, she's talking about revenue streams coming from other platforms than Amazon. She said she was doing well on, Apple Books and Kobo and other platforms. So what's your take on this?
Well, that's true. You can do well, but I think that's at a more advanced stage where you have the revenue coming from your books, where you start building up a website where you can promote the multiple channels and you're doing well. You've built up an email list, for instance. Once you get past 5,000 or 10,000, then you're starting to reach people who will have accounts at Apple iBooks and have accounts at Kobo and Barnes & Noble and all the different outlets. So if you've built up a good email list, if you've got a great website, yes, then you can what they call go wide. But if you're starting off, you haven't got a big email list, the chance of you selling on those other platforms is rather small. So please, if you want to build up and get into marketing, work on your email list, build it up to a good extent, and then go wide. And then you have the opportunity of promoting your website, which will have all these links to all the different wide availability channels for your book.
And more on these topics and even other topics pertaining to book marketing, but also to the writing craft, you will be able to find at the International Dublin Writers Festival.
So we're going to be live in September 2021 or 22. Touch wood, it'll be gone. This old disaster will be gone by next year. But we're keeping going, and we are enjoying this community, and we're enjoying the positives from everything that's happening. The big boost to authors' earnings that is going to come from all of this learning and this explosion of creativity. I know I'm writing more. I hope you're writing more, using this opportunity to write more. I'm hoping to have my new series. I've got a new thriller series coming out, and that's going to be fast release. So we're writing, and I hope the joy of writing is amazing, right? So it's something, if we can if you can put aside everything else and just write and produce things, aim for 1,000 words a day, 1,500, 2,000, whatever you can do yourself, and then just keep going every day and enjoy the writing and enjoy the support that you have and the community that we're building with Andrea, with all the other people you're connected to in the writing world.
Sounds fantastic. And when do you plan on releasing the first book in your new series?
That'll be, I expect now it's going to be end of September, with the second book only 6 weeks later. So it's this fast release schedule. These are thrillers. They're shorter, not very long thrillers, 65,000 words, similar to a medium-sized thriller, with another one coming soon afterwards. So that schedule helps because people want to read the next episode in the series.
Yeah, same as with TV series. So that's what happens with experts like Laurence O'Bryan. You can go on and talk about everything pertaining to publishing, because he's an author. So everything he's doing, he's been testing. He's doing it from his experience. So he's one of the people who walks his talk, and who is so generous that he's also helping others, so he doesn't keep it to himself. Thank you, Laurence, and good luck with your festivals.
Good luck to everybody. Thank you very much for watching.